Greetings everyone! Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown is upon us, so I'm going to give you a few tips to help get you started for once this game drops. To get you started, the first thing that I recommend you do is go to the command training for your chosen character and just simply go through it. What you want to do is just familiarize yourself with your character's moves because there are a lot of them. Once you've gone through your character's command training at least once, I want you to scroll to the display settings, go to the information display, and set it to detailed stats. This is the frame data box, so it lets you know how many frames a move is. For instance, a jab is 12 frames, deals 10 damage, and leaves you at +5 frame advantage every time it connects on normal hit. Take note, as you can see, that you can go through the command training with the move details box on, which is something I would love it if other fighting games would also do that. Once you're familiar with your character's moveset from the command training, next I want you to just go to free training, keep on the move details box, and now I want you to just get familiar with your character's moves by kind of just getting used to their frames, for instance. In Virtua Fighter, including Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, and I'm assuming also in Ultimate Showdown, there are certain consistencies that you should keep note of. For instance, jabs are very commonly 12 frames. They're almost always 12 frames, dealing 10 damage, +5 frame advantage on normal hit. Elbows, also known as 6Ps, or your forward plus punch. These moves are commonly, as you can see right here, 14 frames, deals 17 damage, and leaves you at neutral on hit. Just like jab strings, there's commonly follow-ups. However, what I generally want you to do is just use a single one. Jabs are very important in Virtua Fighter because, as you can see right here, they're +2 on block. So this means that it's frame advantage, so you can... This is basically a good move for being the source of getting your offense started in this game. I mean, 12 frames, so it's one of the fastest moves, +2 frame advantage. So that means if you do a jab on block, the next one will be 10 frames. So essentially, this move is very good at frame trapping the opponent. To go along with all this, you have your down jab, also known as your 2P. These are just like your jab, it's 12 frames, deals 9 damage, and leaves you at +4 on normal hit. As you see right there, it says EX low. That means that the move can be blocked both standing and crouching. That's because it's an unreactable low that's frame advantage on hit. As you remember earlier, jabs are +2 on block. So that means if you do jab, elbow, and stuff like that, you can basically, again, like I said earlier, you can frame trap your opponent. So if the opponent does jab, jab, to avoid it, you're either going to have to do a low, or you're going to have to, sidestep to be able to avoid it. So if your opponent is frame trapping you with highs a lot, then you're going to have to use your 2P to try and relieve pressure. This is the primary purpose of this move, is to be able to relieve pressure. To go along with this, to be able to open up opponents, you want to look for further moves that are frame advantage on blocks, such as Jackie's flash sword kick. You can also use moves, for instance, that are safe on block, but for instance, if they were to connect on the opponent, for instance, then you would either get a lot of frame advantage, or if it's something that were to, for instance, connect on counter hit, allows you to be able to get combo follow-ups. You can also utilize good lows on your opponent, such as stuff like Jackie's 1P, right here, which is a really good low, or looking for strings that are, just delayable. Hopefully something that's mid, like Jackie's 1P+K. P right here is a good delayable string. And of course, you can open up opponents with throws. Actually, in fact, Virtua Fighter has a lot of throws. I mean, more throws than most fighting games, apart from something like DOA, but still, there's a lot of throws that every character has. But the main thing to keep in mind is just keeping note of things with regards to throws, throws being breakable. For instance, there's a neutral throw. There's throws that can be broken by pressing forward plus guard, or forward plus throw, and throws that can be broken by back plus throw or guard. So under most circumstances, you'll be utilizing the neutral throw, your strongest back throw, and your strongest forward throw break. With regards to movement in Virtua Fighter 5, think of things in terms of twos, like forward forward, back back, right right, left left. Basically, you're going to be doing most of your movements by doing double taps in directions. I mean, technically you can walk by holding back or forward, but you generally want to be able to move quickly with the dashes. Back dashes and forward dashes can also be combined with sidesteps. For instance, you can do forward, forward, right, right. You can do back, 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 left, left, and you kind of Get the idea that you can move into sidesteps. In Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, there's also a more advanced movement called offensive or defensive movement where you simply tap a direction, then press the P+K and G button right here. So what it does is just gives you a more sidestepping movement that just simply covers more distance. In Virtua Fighter 5, 2Ps or down jabs are like really good moves. So if you suspected the opponents to try and do a down jab after something gets blocked, then simply do a backdash, then whiff punish it. Once you get used with Virtua Fighter 5's movement, then look for good combo starters with your characters, such as like P+K with Jackie, 4 P+K, 4 H+K, and of course the powerful 6K launcher. Oh, and take note that 6 P+K is really good with Jackie. Take note that there are different weight classes in Virtua Fighter 5, so what that means is that the characters will launch at different heights. So that means that you're going to have to account for that in your combos. The weight classes can go from as light as a feather to as heavy as a Taka. Alright, for a bit of a refresher, lead with your jab so you can end up doing frame traps such as like jab, elbow. Relieve offensive pressure with your down jab. You can combine sidesteps with backdashes or forward dabs by doing double taps in the corresponding directions. Open up opponents with frame advantage moves, delayable strings, or good lows, and of course, throws. Throws are broken by pressing the P+G button right as the opponent throws for a neutral throw, forward plus throw for a forward break, and back plus throw for a back break. And lastly, mind your opponent's weight class. Oh, and one more thing. There are escapable combos in Virtua Fighter denoted by a green color on the combo counter. Those can be avoided with a tech roll, which is inputted by doing either up or down with the P+K+G button, the same input as like a defensive maneuver. Alright guys, that's it for now. I hope this helps you out on getting you started on your Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown journey. If you like this video, smash that like button. If you didn't like this video, just hit the like button anyway, and don't forget to subscribe for more juicy fighting game content. I also want to take this moment to thank my premium top tier fighters for their continued support, which I always do appreciate. If you'd like to become a premium top tier fighter yourself, click on the Patreon link down below. Alright, this video is endorsed by Smart Esports and Trollcoin, and be on the lookout for a Jackie guide in the future. In the meantime, you can take a look at a Jackie guide that I created for Dead or Alive 5 last year on a little while back. I mean, it's still a pretty in-depth guide also. Anyways, this is Force Nature signing off. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Top Tier Tips.